here is our the second tutorial of how to use Blender as a newbie. Let's create a new project by just clicking off. Let's delete the camera because we won't be working with or the light. Today let's make a chair because it's a simple object to practice your skills in. So let's start with a cube. It is but before that, let's rename it to chair because it's gonna turn into a chair eventually. So let's start modeling it. First, let's make a seat for it. I'm gonna turn it go by grabbing it and going out there. Then let's make some cuts here. Then let's press Ctrl B, then we can adjust it. And I don't want my handles to be too thin, my legs, and nor too thick. So I'm gonna add a second cut here, and also repeat the process. Now we've created those 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can press extrude faces E. Now we've made our legs. So let's now make us back seat. This we just select those faces and extrude it upwards. Now we've done some basic chair. Now let's add some details to it. Let's make this a bit smoother by pressing Ctrl B and using our scroll wheel to adjust the detail. Yep, looks smooth enough. What else? Let's make holes in the chairs that we usually find. Let's make a cut right here. Oh wait, we should have added before here. So let's add it here. And maybe here. Wait. We scroll to select how many we want. Here and probably here, just in case. So let's delete some faces. Instead of just deleting faces, we're gonna have an ugly shape, right? So instead, we can select the front ones and the faces behind. Then we can right click and bridge faces. Imagine like you're making a bridge. Oh, I forgot to select this ones. Bridge faces. Repeat this process here. Bridge faces and here. Bridge faces. Oh, wait. Now we've made the simplest chair. So we have a plain chair. Let's go to the fun part. Remember the materials I was talking previous lesson. Let's add some of them. Just going to the shading part and that's it. Here in shading we can see our material, which is blank. Here is our output. We almost never touch it. And here is our basic shader. We can change our color. We can change if it's gonna be metallic or plastic like. Our roughness, it speaks for itself. It defines how rough the material is. IUR, keep it on 1.5, it's a refraction level. And alpha, it's either makes it transparent or not. I'm gonna be using simple shaders for now to not overwhelm you. We can ignore this part, so I'm gonna just do this to hide it. And we don't gonna need this a lot. So let's make it brownish. Let's choose texture. Make it brown. It depends what you want. It looks like plastic shade, don't you think it is? So let's turn the roughness to, we turn the roughness bit. Now it looks boring. So we can try using noise maps to add some details. Noise texture. We also use Shift A to add nodes. Yes, we can add noise texture to, we use factor to base color. If we try adding this, then we will have actual noisy colorful chair, but we just want it to be black and white. Why? Because we're making a mask. Let's turn the scale up for greater detail. Then we can choose the same, connect this to roughness, and let's add color ramp. Color ramp. We're gonna be adding to this one. Factor. We can choose our white to be brown, for example. I think it looks good enough for our purposes. And black one, let's choose it to be a dark brown. Looks nicer, right? We can also try adding to make it normal. We can also try connecting this to normal, which can give us unique way of giving fake 3D look. Well, it looks like a rusted metal, which is kind of is. So instead I'm gonna remove this roughness and just leave it like this. For now, it's a simple shader that we're gonna be using. We're gonna be often using color ramp, noise texture for precisely generating textures. What if we want our base to be different color? So go back to layout, go to add a new material, call it, let's say, shader 2. It's a terrible name. Then go to edit mode and select which parts of the mesh you want assign this. So I want to assign those ones. Funny camera. So I've chosen this. I chose those, selected those faces. Now let's press assign. To see the difference, I'm gonna go to the material view and press assign. We can see that the actions are, the result are immediate. So let's change this to go back to the shading mode, and here we can choose between material 1 and between our materials. So it kind of looks boring. So let's turn the roughness up and add noise texture, but with now we're gonna be using different colors. We're gonna be scale, details. Now we can turn down roughness. Let's just keep random. Doesn't do anything. I mean, for you at least. Then just use color ramp. Now we can change our color to, let's say, blue. And black parts to be, well, also bluish but darker. Nice chair looking. Oh, I forgot to select those ones. So let's go back to the layout, select the material and press assign. So we've quickly fixed it. Now let's go back to shading, and we made two different simple materials. We can also connect it to normal, but it needs way textures. For usually normal, we're gonna be using textures. We usually find them on internet. So I was not creative on material, so I'm just gonna connect it to roughness. We could try adding this to displacement, but we do not have enough polygons, or do we? It gives us a fake 3D illusion. Imagine sitting on a marble. Sounds, well, something fun, right? Let's just move the roughness and keep it like this. Then we can go to layout. You can choose the position for your camera. Let's say I want to have this position. I'm gonna shift A. Oh wait, I forgot to leave the edit mode. Shift A. Let's add camera. Camera. Oh, what happened to that? Let's go to the camera. Lock this so we can manipulate with our camera. So when it looks like this, I exit toggle mode. Then let's add some lights. I'm gonna be using a spotlight. I'm gonna be using basic lights. Let's make it like this. Point it to the chair. I didn't want it to do this. So let's go to the shading viewport. Oh, the light is too dim. Let's change it in the light properties. Well, it doesn't much power. Let's choose exposure, because usually that's the work. You see, now our scene has light. Finally, to make a render, we press F12 on our keyboard. Here is our result after rendering our image. See you and goodbye.